everybody. Welcome back to Yoga Vibes. Today we're going to look at two incredible postures. One is called Marichyasana and the other one is called Ardha Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Fish pose. Now where do you get a name like that? So we're going to take a look at the names, the history of the names a little bit, where those names come from, and then look at the few variations of the postures, and then talk about the incredible benefits, which is probably the most important part, so you should definitely stick around to the end of the video if you're interested in this stuff. We're going to consult the Hatha Pradipika to look at benefits and our own personal experience. And these poses offer a lot. Now these two poses are very, very old. They come from a time period when yogis were prevalent all over India. And let's start with Ardha Matsyendrasana. Ardha means half. Matsyendra is the name of a very revered yogi. And asana is posture or pose. So you put that all together and you get Ardha Matsyendrasana. Why is it also called Lord of them Fishies? Lord of the Fish pose. Well, that's a story you're going to have to look into on your own. Do a little research on Matsyendra and right away you're going to find out about why he's called Lord of the Fishes. Now Marichyasana is a similar thing. It's the name of a great guru, Mariachi, followed by asana posture. So it's Mariachi's posture. So what this is telling us is that these were advanced postures that these two gurus left for us humans to explore and work with. And they knew that the benefits of these postures were going to help someone cultivate the yogic energy and experience the samadhi, the bliss, the breakthrough, the enlightenment, the self-realization. All these things is the goal of a yogi. And that's what these yogis were doing. And they had many other skills also. Matsyendra and Mariachi came from a school of yogis known as the NATH, PANTH. The NATH, PANTH. And they were highly revered yogis with incredible yogic skills, maybe around 2,000 years ago or so, in northern India and probably Tibet and Nepal also, and maybe other parts of India. And that's why learning the roots of these names is really interesting, because it brings you back into some of the lineages of yoga and connects you to that energy. So let's get right into them a little bit. The easiest one to show is Marichyasana. It's something you're going to see in a lot of yoga classes, and it's a fairly easy pose. One leg goes straight. You sit with as straight a spine as possible. The other leg crosses over. And I'm going to show these from a couple of different angles, so you'll see a little better what's going on, make it a little easier. Now you're going to use your other hand behind you to support you, and like this. And it's a twisting pose. It's also a spinal twisting pose. And you're going to look behind you. Hold the pose for a few seconds and come out slowly. Okay, so let's look at it from another angle. Be a little easier actually from this side. So one leg is going straight. This leg crosses over. This arm used to help twist and balance yourself. Cross your arm over your knee and start to twist at the waist and look behind you. Hold the pose for as long as comfortable. And slowly come out. And of course, we got to do the other side. Same thing. Leg crosses over, arm behind to support. The other arm goes over the knee and begin to twist behind you, and you'll feel a really nice twist in your back, a really nice stretch, and some abdominal compression. Amazing, fairly easy posture that you see often. Now let's look at Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is one of my favorite poses. I'm going to show two variations of it. And there's actually the Purna Matsyendrasana, which is the full version, which I love to show you, but I can't do it. And you'll see why when I try to make an attempt to show you. Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated spinal twist, Lord of them Fishies. Very similar to Marichyasana, except it has, I believe, a lot more profound effect on the energetical qualities of the being. And it's just Marichyasana times 10 in terms of effects. Instead of keeping your legs straight, you're going to bend your knee and bring your foot to the opposite hip. Then you're going to take the other leg and cross over like this. So in Marichyasana, we had it like this. And that's the main difference for the legs. Now you're going to twist this way towards your folded over leg. Twist at the waist, bringing your navel to spine, and then twist your shoulder girdle. And if you're comfortable, bring your arm like this, looking behind you. Keep your gaze steady. Twist your eyes also, meaning bringing your eyes as far over to the side you're twisting to as you can. And again, when you slowly unwind and then come out. And of course, we have to do both sides. And you bring your arm around your leg like this, and same thing, you look behind you, twisting at the waist. Suck your navel to spine to create a little bit more space here. Twist at the waist, then twist at the shoulders. And you can use this arm to support or to prop you up. Try to straighten your spine as much as possible. Or if you're comfortable and well seated, you just bring this arm behind you. Twist, look behind you, try to hold the pose for 20 seconds or so. Maybe getting up to 2 minutes. Breathe naturally, breathe normally. And slowly unwind. Unwind, align your body, and then bring your leg over. So let's just look at the posture from a couple of angles, because it is a bit of a tricky posture to look at, to understand sometimes. To the opposite hip, leg over, wrapping your arm around the leg. This is the easier version. Bring your navel to spine, twist at the hips, twist at the shoulder girdle, look behind you, and hold the pose. Slowly unwind back to center. Now that's a great way to get introduced to this pose. Now if you're really flexible, stretchy, bendy, flexy, you might want to look at the full pose. Starts the exact same way. Foot goes to the opposite hip, leg comes over. Instead of wrapping your arm around the leg, you're going to take your, like this. You're going to bring your arm over your knee, pull your knee back and reach for your foot. Some people reach for the knee, but traditionally you're supposed to reach for the foot. If you have a short arm, the knee will be perfect. Right? And then same thing, bring your navel to spine to create more space between the thigh and the belly. That's an important part. That way you can increase the twist there. And then twisting your shoulder girdle, looking behind you. This is the full Ardha Matsyendrasana. Hold the pose for as long as comfortable, and then slowly unwind. And just showing it from one more angle. Foot to opposite hip, other foot comes over, straighten up for the camera a little bit, bring your navel to spine, push this leg over a little bit, and then bring your arm over, reach down for your foot, and the other arm either propped on the ground to help prop you up as you straighten your spine, or behind your back. Looking behind you, twisting the shoulder girdle. Try not to slump down in this posture. Try to make sure your spine is up, your chest is up, and you're twisting at the waist, bringing your navel to spine, and twisting your shoulder girdle. And come out of the pose slowly. Kind of resembles a fish a little bit, doesn't it? If you're looking at a fish head on, that makes your body go into that shape a little bit. Unusual. Now that pose has a lot of powerful effects on the body, on the pranic body, the energy body, on your emotional state, just everything. Just from doing it a little bit, you might feel some heat in your head, a little bit of heat over your forehead. And because it has such a powerful effect on the digestive system, it might make you burp. If you have bloating, it'll probably make you burp. You might go to the bathroom in an hour, or a little bit of flatulence. That's all normal. In fact, that's perfect. That means the pose is working. So let's look at the Purna version, which is the real Matsyendrasana, not the Ardha Matsyendrasana, but the Matsyendrasana, which I cannot do. But I'll just try to show you what it is. You can look this up, you'll see it in books. It's for people who've been doing yoga for a long time and are extremely flexible in the knees. You want to be careful with some of these postures because you can actually hurt yourself. If you don't take your time and gradually build up, it's very easy and likely that you'll sprain something or pop a ligament or a tendon or something like that. We don't want to do that because then we can't practice anymore and we have to wait until it heals. In this posture, what would happen is you'd be going like this, right? But the real version, this foot will actually be up here. So it would be up here, and then the leg would be, see, I'm not even going to go past this because this would just hurt. This leg would be over. And then you would do your twist. That's the Purna version. You don't need to go that far. You really don't need to go that far. You're going to get all the benefits from the half version. But one thing I've noticed is that Mariachi's posture is kind of a combination of the easy version and the Ardha version of Matsyendra. When you're doing Marichyasana, it's easier here, but you do have to bring your arm over the shoulder. So that starts to create quite a compressive twist. Sort of offers a variation of what Matsyendra was doing. The best thing for you is to explore both these poses. Benefits, you said? Let's start looking at benefits. These ancient poses are some of the best poses, and they have some of the most profound benefits. First of all, just personal experience. When I do Ardha Matsyendrasana, you feel an incredible sensation in the digestive region. In fact, the best way I can describe it, it's like when you take a rag, you know when you have a rag full of water and you need to wring it out, get all that dirty water or all the water out of the rag? That's exactly what you're doing with your body. You're wringing everything out from like the solar plexus down. You're just squeezing it out. And that's why you might experience some flatulence, possibly some burping. So that wringing out is toning all the organs in the body and cleaning out your digestive system. And it's also stimulating the gut brain, your second brain. And that brain is right in the solar plexus. If you didn't know this, it's actually a clump of gray matter, exactly like what your brain is made out of, just jam-packed with nerve plexuses. And these two brains are in constant communication with each other. And the secondary brain, the gut brain, can actually produce almost all the same neuropeptides as your main brain. So by cleaning your digestive system, toning the organs, and then stimulating this brain, your body will naturally start to produce all the probiotics, all the right bacteria to keep your body healthy. Another thing I noticed is it seems to clean my eyes. It makes the eyes really white. And there's a very strong sensation of an upward lifting energy when you're doing this posture. So I'm sure it's having really interesting effects on the nadi in the body, the energy channels, and the chakras. And of course, you experience a really nice stretch in the back, a twist in your lumbar vertebrae, which helps open up that flow of energy and information. So absolutely amazing. This is just from personal experience, but let's take a look at the Hatha Pradipika. Okay, so I've got here a copy of the Hatha Pradipika. There's many translations and versions out there. It's a text that everybody who's interested in yoga, especially if you're really interested in yoga, these classic texts are the texts that are going to teach you about really why you're doing these postures and what the postures can do in terms of your yogic practice. And yoga, don't forget, the goal of yoga is bliss, is samadhi, is enlightenment, is self-realization, and many other skills that come along the way. So we have to remember to move from the basic exercise version of the postures into the understanding the energetical qualities of the postures. Now I'm mostly going to talk, in fact I'm just going to talk about Ardha Matsyendrasana because the benefits are the same in both postures. And Ardha Matsyendrasana actually goes a little bit further. Let's take a look. First of all, contraindications. Something I should always be doing at the beginning of the video. I always see, you open these books, you learn something about what you're doing right away. Pregnant women should not be doing this pose. That's a no-brainer. People suffering from peptic ulcer, hernia, or hyperthyroidism, surprises me that, should only practice this pose under the guidance of a competent teacher. Very interesting. People with sciatica or slip disc should not practice this pose. And that makes a lot of sense because you really are twisting your spine. You wouldn't want to throw anything out, even especially if it's out a little bit already. You don't want to make it worse. It tones the nerves of the spine, makes the back muscles supple, relieves lumbago, which I had a lot of problem with that, and I can attest to yoga cleared up all my back problems actually. Relieves lumbago and muscular spasms, and reduces the tendency of adjoining vertebrae to develop inflammatory problems and calcium deposits. Amazing. It massages the abdominal organs, alleviating digestive ailments. It regulates the secretions of the adrenal gland, liver, and pancreas, and is beneficial for the kidneys. Amazing, because I've actually never looked up the benefits. I think it's very good to know that, but I think what's even more important is that you internalize your awareness when you're practicing a posture. And that's how you get into a posture and really start to feel and become aware of your body and the effects of the posture on multiple levels. Okay, now going a little bit further, practice of this asana increases the digestive fire to such an incredible capacity that it is the means of removing diseases and thus awakening the serpent power, the kundalini. Wow. This is why you need these books, and we should consult them all the time. Matsyendrasana helps to channelize the prana in a particular direction so that awakening takes place in the dormant energy centers. I mean, this is incredible stuff. It specifically stimulates the navel center or Manipura chakra. If the capacity of the Manipura is increased systematically, it not only eliminates imbalances and disease, but the dormant potential of Sushumna Nadi can be awakened. And it goes on and on. There's a couple of pages about energetical qualities and how it's affecting you. And the Sushumna Nadi, you're probably aware of this, but it's a central energy channel that runs through all the chakras. Well, is that not incredible? I guess if you don't have a copy of this, I think now's the time to get it, because those can be the best guides you have, besides tapping into your inner guru. Wow, so what did you think of that? Don't hesitate, it's absolutely free to leave a comment. Let me know how you feel when you practice this asana and what you thought about those benefits. To me, it's absolutely amazing. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you got something from this video, and we'll see you next time on Yoga Vibe.